There's no turning back.
Here to talk about Snowpiercer, the new sci-fi series on TNT Drama, please welcome David Diggs. Hey, David.
Hey, Jeff.
Well, greetings from Las Vegas. And the last time we spoke was for Blind Spotting. And man, that movie left such a great impression on me. I love that film.
Oh, thank you.
Well, Snowpiercer is about a ARC train with 1,001 cars constantly moving around the world because the world is frozen due to climate change. And the train is built into classes, with the tail being the most impoverished. So science fiction really reflects on examining our own present situation, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's kind of the idea, right? If we create a fantasy that gives us a little cognitive distance, we can look at ourselves a little more critically.
Now, I've seen the movie about 20 times. It's one of my all-time favorites. But did you set out making the series having its own identity away from the motion picture?
Yeah, I mean, it's set in a different, it's the same setup, but it doesn't owe anything to the movie or to the graphic novels. We were able to borrow what we wanted from there, but also leave what didn't serve us. It's a new story in the Snowpiercer universe, if you will. So I think all of us working on the show also hold those things in very high regard. So we would turn to them for inspiration, but not necessarily for guidance on what we wanted our show to be.
And the creator of the train and the one running the whole show, Mr. Wilford, there's a murder on his train. And they recruit you because in a previous life, you were a homicide detective. It's kind of like a murder on the Snowpiercer Express.
Yeah, it has a little bit of that vibe to it at the top for sure. But it's a good mechanism, I think, to get Leighton out of the tail and allow us as the audience to experience the train as he is experiencing it, right? So with this sense of newness and with this sense of trying to understand what's going on, it feels like he's a good person to start our journey with. And then eventually, what I love about the show is that it kind of opens up and we start to experience the train from everybody's perspective.
And that scene in the diner car where you had a grilled cheese and tomato soup and your character hadn't eaten in years a proper meal, and it was so emotional. Where were you during that scene?
Yeah, I haven't eaten one since. We had to do so many takes of that I've given up on grilled cheese. But I was just trying to really come to terms with this idea of loss. So I tried to, think about all of the, for me, I tend to work with people. So, people who I've lost and what it would feel like to just, get to come in contact with them one more time. And then put all of that in a grilled cheese sandwich.
Now, David, tell me about the sets. Are they amazing in person as they come across on camera? They look incredible.
Yeah, it's impossible for you to appreciate how detailed these sets are. Like there's stuff on them that the cameras couldn't possibly have caught. So many little details, and it makes it really great to shoot on as an actor because it makes the world feel very real when you're inside of it. You walk into a soundstage and the outside of these train cars look like big tubes of plywood or whatever, but then you get inside and all of a sudden you are in some crazy, bizarre train car that moves and rocks back and forth and has everything that would be in this car is in there for you to play with.
And tell me about working with Jennifer Connelly. She's Melanie from Hospitality.
Yeah, I mean, she's the best. You'll see when you see the show. She's incredible, and yeah, I learned a lot from her. She was maybe the hardest working actor I've ever worked with, and yeah, and it shows. And she's so much fun and so supportive, and a really great sort of leader of a company.
Well, David, thank you so much for talking to me today. I really appreciate Snowpiercer. It's an incredible show. And remember, one tail.
One tail. Thank you, and have a good one.